In a world where everyone seems to have an opinion, where advice is everywhere, and where we're constantly being told who we should be, how we should feel, and what we should do, sometimes what we really need is a real conversation. A conversation that challenges the way we think, that asks the questions we sometimes avoid, that makes us laugh, reflect, and occasionally feel just a little uncomfortable. Because sometimes the question that makes you stop and think is the question you needed most. This is Momentum, a space where mental health professionals, experts, and real people come together, not to lecture, not to judge, and definitely not to pretend that anyone has life completely figured out. Here, we talk, we challenge, we explore, we laugh, and together, we discover different ways of looking at the things that affect our lives, our relationships, our behavior, and our mental well-being. Because one conversation can create awareness. One perspective can change the way you see something. And one moment can create momentum. And at the center of these conversations is a host who brings together professionals' perspectives and real people asking the uncomfortable questions, challenging the obvious answers, and sometimes stirring the pot just enough to get the conversation going. From I Seek Help International, please welcome the host of Momentum. Let the conversation begin and make some noise for our incredible next level legendary host.
All right. Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? Can I see who's in the house? Can you make some noise, please? Can I get...
Hello, noise.
Hello.
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 Yeah, looks like you guys are ready to party. Fantastic. Welcome to Momentum, guys. It's Thursday evening, 7 o'clock, my favorite time of the week, where we get to meet, hang out, and ask some really serious questions. I cannot get over that introduction video. Thank you, Simonique. That really is stunning. Absolutely beautiful. So, guys, if you are new to our platform this evening, this is a space where we come together every week, every Thursday evening, 7 o'clock, for you to come and fill your cup, to come and challenge your beliefs, come and learn, come and explore and see what else is possible. And tonight I've got a very, very nice panel lined up. And tonight we actually ask a question, an extremely, extremely important question is, are you healing or are you just getting better at explaining yourself? And our three guests this evening is simply amazing. I cannot wait to actually introduce them. But I want to ask our audience, the more you participate, the more you give us thumbs up, the more you, even if you don't agree with what we are saying, you just give us a thumbs up. The more you will get from us, the more you'll get from our guests this evening. And we want to make them feel special. They had a whole week to prepare. They had sleepless nights. They all got dressed up. They are here to bring the goods for you this evening. So the more you participate, the more you give back, the more they will show up for you. So remember, you are also welcome to invite anyone to our platform. It is open to the public. It is for mental health professionals, but here we connect with one another and we ask really, really difficult questions. So you will see there's a chat box. During the course of the evening, I want you to use the chat box. If there's something that resonates with you, please put it in the chat box. If you want to unmute yourself, raise your hand. We'll give you an opportunity to unmute yourself. If you like something, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like something, give it a thumbs up. If you love what's being said, give it a streamer. The more you interact with us, the better for yourself. So I've got a question for our audience before we jump into and introduce our three special guests this evening. Why are you here this evening? What is the one thing that you need to heal from? You can maybe ask yourself that question. Maybe you can put it in the chat box. Maybe it was a relationship wound. Maybe it's grief or loss. Maybe it's something that happened in your childhood. Maybe it's an impact moment that you recently had to deal with, and now it's altered your perception in a direction that you don't really enjoy or like. So what is it? Make that mental note, because by the end of this evening, I really want you to move away and go into the next week with a few tips and tricks, perhaps, and know how to overcome that and how to do something about it. So are you ready, guys? Are you excited? Are you ready to rock and roll? I want to maybe make you aware that the last 5 minutes of this evening is extremely important. I've got a huge announcement to make. You're not even going to believe it. I also have a special message from one of our masterclass practitioners that's actually going to share a message with us this evening. Peter, I'll get to you in a second, but don't miss the last 5 minutes. It's very, 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 very important. Right. So before I introduce our panel, Peter, you want to unmute yourself and ask a question? All right. So guys, it gives me great pleasure this evening to actually introduce you to our incredible panel of people that is actually joining us this evening. And, as I introduce them, I want them to unmute themselves and just join the conversation. Just give us a brief introduction, maybe a 1 or 2 liner. And the very first one that I want to introduce tonight is she's a very passionate, she's brand new to our platform this evening, by the way. So you guys need to make lots of noise, lots and lots and lots of hearts and kisses and everything. There we go. Great stuff. She's a passionate neuro life coach, guiding people on a journey of self-discovery, growth, and transformation so that they can live a more authentic, fulfilled life. She's a trauma counselor and practitioner. She's a pastoral counselor. She's a life coach. And she's all the way from the Western Cape. Please help me welcome to our incredible platform this evening, internationally certified life coach, Tania the Cook. Tania, good evening.
Hi, guys. Hello.
Wow, so nice to have you here.
It's so good being here. Thank you so much for the invitation, Gideon. And thank you to all the streamers and the live. Oh, I love that. Thank you to my clan. Guys that's also online helping me and supporting me. I live in the beautiful little town of Hartenbos in the Western Cape. As you said, Gideon, I'm passionate about people, passionate about helping people, passionate about helping people understanding their nervous system so they can just live life to the fullest. So that's me. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to getting your insights tonight. Our panel is ready and we've got the questions lined up. I'm sure you've got the answers. So the next lady that I want to introduce tonight has got a BSc in Natural Sciences. She's got a high diploma in education from the University of Johannesburg. She's an associated certified meta coach with the International Society in Neurosemantics. She's a certified life coach, but more importantly, she's a certified paradigm practitioner with Isaac Help International. Please help me welcome to the call this evening, Annemarie Strydom. Annemarie, are you here? There we go.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, Gideon. I am so honored to be here, and I hope with my esteemed colleagues that we can make a difference tonight.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for being here. Right. Now, guys, the next lady is really helping us to stand on the shoulders of giants. We're going to stand on lots of giants this evening. But this lady, just listen to this. She recently got an award for African Excellence for Best Coach in 2024. She also got the Best Personality and Professional Development and Communication Coach in 2026. Wow, unbelievable. Just like recently, it's not like too far in the past. She also received the Corporate LifeWire Global Award for Best Lifestyle Coach in 2024, 2025, 2025 and 2026. Yo. And she's also an award-winning actress. Many of you will recognize her for many roles on the television. And she's also a lecturer at the stage and screen as well. Stage and screen. She's radio in the last 7 years with AFDA University. Right, so she's going to have to tell us a little bit more about what that abbreviation means. But more importantly, here's the thing. She loves people. She loves bonsais. And she loves cats, all right? She's also a rapid transformation therapist. She's a life coach and NLP practitioner. She's a certified paradigm practitioner. She needs no introduction. My very good friend, I can actually call you a very good friend because we speak so often, it's unbelievable. Heidi Molenze, good evening and welcome to the platform.
It is wonderful to be back. Thank you so much, Gideon. I love being here. Let's talk.
Fantastic. And you will have a surprise tonight. You've got a friend that was at school with you that's actually tuned in this evening.
You're kidding?
Yes. So we'll get to hear from her a little bit later this evening. But I want to jump straight into our conversation this evening. And I'm actually going to ask Anna-Marie, I know you've got something very special planned for us. So I'm going to kick it off and I'm going to hand it over. If you guys can maybe just give me a second. I want to just make sure. Okay, great. This is Anna-Marie. We're going to get going with your first introduction there. So guys, please pay attention to this. And just give me a thumbs up if you can hear the music and you can hear the words, please.
Hello. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we're happy you are. What's your name?
My name's Jane. When I sing, I go by Nightbird.
Oh, that's nice.
Nightbird?
That's right.
Did you sing? Do you sing for a living?
Not recently.
Where are you from?
I'm from Zanesville, Ohio.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 30.
30 years old. And the dream is to be a singer. What are you going to be singing for us tonight?
I'm singing an original song called It's Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It is. It's okay.
It's okay.
What is It's okay about?
It's Okay is the story of the last year of my life.
All right. And who are you here with?
I'm here by myself.
It's okay. And what do you do for a living?
I have not been working for quite a few years. I've been dealing with cancer.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right.
Can I ask you a question? How are you now?
Last time I checked, I had some cancer in my lungs, my spine, and my liver.
Wow.
So you're not okay.
Well, not in every way, no.
You got a beautiful smile and a beautiful glow, and nobody would know.
Thank you. It's important that everyone knows I'm so much more than the bad things that happen to me.
Yes.
All right. Sing for us.
Good luck. Nightbird.
I moved to California in the summertime. I changed my name thinking that it would change my mind. I thought that all my problems, they would stay behind. I was a stick of dynamite and it just was a matter of time, yeah. Oh dang, oh my, now I can't hide. Said I knew myself, but I guess I lied. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. I wrote 100 pages, but I burned them all. Yeah, I burned them all. I blow through yellow lights and don't look back at all. I don't look back at all. Oh dang, oh my, now I can't hide. Said
All right, Anne-Marie, sure. I looked at that video clip this afternoon, and I must be honest with you, I had a few moments there.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's just, you know, every morning when I wake up, and I wake up early like you guys, I spend half an hour just listening to music, any genre. And end of 2025, I came across Nightbird, and it was just so powerful. And I think this is real healing. I mean, she could have sat down and just say, okay, I can't anymore, but she decided to take this and put it into music. And unfortunately, she passed away in 2022. But up until then, she gave motivational talks, even from her deathbed. And what I didn't know was that soon after she was diagnosed, her husband left her. So that is just must have been such an immense trauma to her, besides the fact that she got cancer. But it's so uplifting, and I think it's a true reflection of real healing.
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing that, Anne-Marie. So while you are unmuted, this is extremely personal to you as well, and your journey that you've been on. So if I can start off with you and you know, asking this question this evening about, are you healing, or are you just getting better at explaining yourself? You've got a very special message. You've got a very special journey that you've been on, and you want to share that with us.
Yeah, well, I won't bore you with the details, but I came out of a very emotionally abusive relationship in early 2025. And though it left me with such a lot of thoughts and blame and all sorts, I couldn't make a decision without asking for help. I cried most of the time. And then I realized that I have to get past this. And what am I going to do? Because all I did was, with my therapist, is explain the same story over and over again. And I wasn't getting to a point where I can say, okay, I am healed.
Mm-hmm.
And a thing that helped me a lot was that towards the end of 2025, when I joined I Seek Help International, I came across this this irrational thought workshop that I looked at years ago, and it taught me how to look at my thoughts. And every trigger that I have, I asked myself, is this true? Am I being realistic? Can I prove this? Am I catastrophizing, which happened a lot? And am I measuring my self-worth against it? And that also happened a lot. And I had to get through this, and I did, with a very good therapist that my daughter found for me. And today, I think about 3 weeks ago, I was triggered again, and I just realized I have to sit with this a bit and then react. And
Mm-hmm.
I had so many more options to react, other than just sitting and saying, okay, well, I'm back at square one. So true healing is possible. I have really realized that of late.
Fantastic. Anne-Marie, we're going to dive into that a little bit more. I want to just say congratulations on your journey. Well done on punching this thing in the face. And, you know, edging out a new future and a new life for yourself with a new direction. And I know when we spoke yesterday, you briefly said that you wanted to share that video clip from Nightbird because it gave her some other purpose. It gave her a new direction. It gave her a new clarity. The reason why she sang and the way she inspired other people was she had something that you could point towards, and she wasn't confined or consumed by her circumstances. And
Absolutely.
again, with you as well, I can clearly see that with you from the first day that we met until today. You know, the growth has been phenomenal. So huge congratulations. And I know you're welcome. You also shared this clip with us, and it says healing doesn't mean the past didn't happen. It means it's no longer controlling you. And I can see that in every little piece and every little being of you. So huge congratulations for everything that you had to overcome and for everything that you are doing to help other people to overcome and to move forward as well.
Thank you, Gideon.
Fantastic. Well done. Can I get some thumbs up there for Anne-Marie, please? Come on. That was pretty good. That was good. Okay, fantastic. Right, next up, I want to actually ask Tania. So you work with the nervous system, and the first question I want to ask you is, let me ask you this. What does the triggers look like when I am healing versus whether I'm explaining myself? So maybe we have someone this evening that needs to overcome something, that need to deal with something, and how will they know whether they are healing or whether they are just explaining themselves?
Gideon, I think that's a very good question, and I think some of us sit with that a lot of the time. I don't think all of us figured this out. But what I think is triggers are not always bad, but if we are going to speak about the bad triggers, when you're healed, the triggers doesn't upset you that much, or you don't get worked up, or you don't defend yourself, and your nervous system doesn't react by sweaty palms or your chest pounding, or So I think when you're healed, or my experience, when your nervous system is calm and you've been healed, you don't react to triggers that easily. You learn to sit with the difficult stuff a bit, and with the difficult feelings, because we are all feelings people. If I can say it like that. We all feel. Everyone. That's what all the little icons and stuff are about. We are feeling, and each and every person on this online, we are actually feeling something now. So if you smell something, or you hear something, or a song, or a bang, or whatever, if you are calm and it's a good thought, then I think you've been healed. Otherwise, you get so good at explaining yourself that you know all the therapy terms, and you are in control of your story, but that's only talking. So yeah, that's what I think.
Wow, I love that. So when we have someone on the call this evening that says, okay, listen, I don't know why I'm always like this, or I don't know why I do these things, that could be a very good indicator that they still need to heal, and they should maybe seek the necessary help that they need to be able to work through that and get all the tools to be able to do that.
Yes, definitely.
All right. I like what Anne-Marie said a little bit earlier on, because at ICAP International, we've got a very strong belief that proper planning plus preparation prevents poor performance. So every time you have a client or someone that you work with, you can give them the proper planning plus preparation to prevent poor performance. And when you link that with your nervous system, it's, the nervous system don't lie. The triggers don't lie. That area of tolerance that you operate in. So as a professional that's working with the nervous system, what is the one tip or trick or something that you can give someone this evening that is really battling? Let's say, for instance, they find themselves in certain situations and they're always anxious, or they always overthink something, or something happened 2 weeks ago, but they still have sleepless nights over it. How did they deal with that? What did they do?
Gideon, you mentioned three things, and then I have three things in mind. But I think the very first thing that someone must do when there's a trigger is breathe.
Uh-huh.
Don't breathe, because when we get anxious, our heart starts pounding, and our blood pressure goes up, and our heart rate goes up, and the adrenaline goes up, and then we are in fight or flight mode. Okay.
Yes.
And when we are there, you cannot think straight. You cannot think straight. Some of the people now online will know I explain it like this with my finger. If this is your fight and flight center of your brain, and this is your head, and you think with your prefrontal cortex, and there's a trigger, and there's a thought or there's a feeling, then this fight or flight reacts, and see what happens. If it reacts, then you cannot think anymore. This reacts, and this little center's name is amygdala, and this or she decides, do I fight, flight, freeze, or faint? So the first thing, breathe deeply in and deep out, and then there's a whole other stuff bunch I can tell you, but that's the most important thing. Stop and breathe.
Yes. So Tania, that is one of the go-to techniques that I also use, the box breathe, the 8 in, 8 out, clapping the toes together. But can you just explain to us, when you pop your lid or you flip your lid or whatever,
activate, yeah.
Yes. Then it's almost like it's a default automated system that happens, right? And for you to, it's almost like you put your foot on the accelerator, but there's no brake.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And then when you breathe, it's almost like you can take back the control. You can apply the brakes again, right?
Yes.
Right. So instead of it then flipping the lid and running on subconscious programming, you have that opportunity to come back and then to be in the conscious, be in the moment, and see that it's not as bad as you think it is.
Yes.
All right. So when these impact moments happens, so your subconscious mind is obviously programmed over many years of doing the same thing. Whatever you think about, you feel about, whatever you feel about, you do about, whatever you do over and over and over, you're going to get. Now, how do you go about? What is the go-to journey that you take someone on to help them alter the programming of the subconscious mind, starting with maybe the thought? Once they've done the box breathe, or they've done the breathing deep in, deep out, and they are calm again, what can they do to prevent that from triggering them the same way moving forward?
Gideon, I love when I have clients in my office. I listen to their story, and then I am just in love with one of the best techniques that I've ever came across, and that's tapping.
Yes.
I cannot tell you, I've had a fantastic session. I just want to tell you quickly about that yesterday.
Yes.
Unfortunately, in the last week, 2 weeks in our town, there were 3 motorcycle accidents. But unfortunately, the first young man of 24, he died last Monday. And the lady that saw this in front of her eyes, she was sitting in the car. She was actually on her way to work with her 2 little small girls, 2 and 4, that was in the car. She would have dropped them off at the creche and then would have gone to work. And she said when she came to the stop street, she didn't stop at where she always does, about 3 meters just before. And she actually didn't realize it, but she said to me, Tania, she said, I saw this guy, his name is Armand. I saw him from the left side coming, and then the taxi came, and then he struck. When Armand came like this, the taxi came and he struck him like this. He was dead in an instant.
Yeah.
And she said, I cannot tell you, if I close my eyes, I see this. If I go sleep at night, I dream about it. If something falls in my house, if the little girls play, she's nervous. And then I said, okay, I don't know if you know about tapping, and I explained it to her, and I said, are you ready? She said, I'm ready. Gideon, I've tapped her for about 10 minutes. Let me just say this in between. You can measure. If you want to know if something works, you can measure it. All right. So we can measure this because you can feel, everybody now, you can feel how you feel inside. I taught her how to do that, and she gave me a score of about, I think it was 8.5 out of 10. And I tapped her for 10 minutes, and then afterwards I said, so how do you feel? Scan your body. How do you feel? How does your nervous system feel? And she looked at me, and she just looked around, and she said, there's nothing, it's a zero. And then she went like this, and she started to cry, and laughing and crying, and said, I cannot tell you how I feel. I feel like a new person. She went like this. It's all gone. Wow. And yeah, so that is my go-to. That's my thing is tapping, because it works directly on the amygdala and the nervous system.
Wow. Unbelievable. And this is what it's all about, guys. Sure. Tania, thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you very much for making a difference in someone's life. I'm pretty sure that they would definitely be a very good testimonial for you moving forward. But that is definitely one of the go-to techniques to help your brain and your body to connect with one another again, right? So you don't have access to the tapping, the breathing exercises works quite well. Journaling for me also works well to get that out of your system, to unpack that, and just to bring your thoughts back to the here and the now, instead of being in the past or being in the future. Just be in the here and the now.
In the now, yes.
Yeah, perfect. Yo, thank you so much for sharing that. Tania, while I've got you unmuted there, I want to ask another question. I want to ask, so at what point does self-awareness become an excuse? And what I mean by that is, I know I need to do this, but because of my childhood, what do I need to do next, or what needs to happen next? So maybe we've got someone on the call this evening that says, okay, listen, I know I'm a certain way. I know that something happened to me in the past. I want to heal, but I'm not there yet. So the question is, at what point does self-awareness become an excuse?
Gideon, you know what? I think you have to be very honest with yourself. We can be dishonest with a lot of people. You can tell stories just as you now said, wara wara wara, to anybody and everybody. But I think the most important thing in life is you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, listen, Tania, how are you? How are you really? So yeah, I think that is the first thing. If you can't be honest in your own face, you won't be able to take the next step. I think that's the most important thing, to be authentic, and to realize and to know something's wrong, and I am going to be strong when I reach out for help. I'm not going to be, something, and I'm going to be strong. I'm not going to be the opposite. I'm not going to be lazy. I'm not going to be sleepy. I'm not going to be depressed. I'm not going to use any excuse. I'm going to be strong for myself. I want to do something for my life. I'm the only one that has to live with me in this body day after day. I can, bull twang anybody else, but what about yourself? So I think to be really authentic and honest with yourself, I think that's the most important thing in life.
Fantastic. Love that. Love that. Take responsibility, guys. So please give it up for Tania. I think that is absolutely spot on. Thank you so much, Tania, for sharing that. Next up, I want to actually ask Heidi. Heidi, you know what? You are someone that knows all about taking responsibility. Yes. And, when that first step is too big, that's usually when we get confused about what to do next. So for you, I want to ask to maybe unpack this a little bit for us. And the question I want to ask you this evening is about boundaries. So when is a boundary healthy and when is it dressed up as self-care? Or when does it violate your ability for self-care?
Yeah, that's such a beautiful question. And that's again where we have to be completely honest with ourselves. And that takes some practice because we get very scared when we have to be honest with ourselves. Staying in the moment, being present, so super, super important, being in touch with yourself. A boundary is when you're lying to yourself, when you are putting up a wall that there's no little door in that wall. So the boundary is when the cage, it becomes a cage when there's no little door. A boundary has a little door.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's not a little door in that, and I'll make sense of it now, and that little door is the choice.
Yes.
If you remember that the healing is becoming healthy again, restoring, building yourself up again, that's the healing. In our mind, the explanation is a cognitive thing. It stays in the head. So the healing happens when we can get out of our head. And the only way to get out of our head is to sit and to be honest with ourselves and to feel the feelings, because the feelings can't hurt you. Feeling the feelings can't hurt you. Not feeling them will hurt you. So allowing that temporary discomfort, and only then can you choose the boundaries.
Sure.
You're not able to really set a boundary if you're not in touch with what is going on and the honesty that has to happen inside. Then it's just a facade.
Sure. That is so beautifully explained. Thank you for that explanation, Heidi. I also want to ask you that when you go through a healing process and it makes you feel better, or it can sometimes make you feel worse.
Yeah.
So in your own personal experience, or maybe with that of your clients, what is the things to look out for? Because when you go to someone or you go through a process of wanting to feel better and you actually feel worse first before you start feeling better, what is the reason for that?
And that's why people sometimes stop through the process of healing or recovery, is because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It's uncomfortable. And our mind, and I think we said this last week as well, that our mind, our subconscious mind, gravitates always towards the familiar. So if something is familiar, that's why people lose their money when they've won a lot of money in the lotto and they're worse off than before, while people that are abused maybe or ill-treated in a relationship will time and time again go back. So our mind knows this is not good for me, but it's familiar. So familiar always wins. So when you start healing, you suddenly are confronted with things that are unfamiliar. Feeling your feelings might be incredibly unfamiliar to you. So we stop, because the brain, the subconscious mind, associates this unfamiliar with danger. Yes. So it is uncomfortable. Work through the discomfort. And this, of course, I mean, please take this in the way that it is intended. Of course, you shouldn't stay in anything that is not good for you, relationship, or if you're doing a behavior that's not good for you. And I'm not talking about that uncomfortable, but the discomfort of feeling the feelings, the discomfort of making a different choice.
Yes.
I used to do this. This is my trigger. I used to react like this. Now I am choosing to react differently. It's going to feel really uncomfortable.
Yes.
Don't stop. Keep repeating, because when you do something once, it's great. It's a good start, but you have to repeat the same good choice for yourself time and time again for that to become the new pattern. A pattern is something that is repeated. And if you stop at the discomfort, at the first sign of feeling discomfort and unfamiliarity, you won't win.
Correct. Sure. I like what you said there about patterns, because that's something that I recently actually discovered about a few years ago. I was actually exposed to Jim Rohn's teachings, where he said that success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines that you repeat over and over and over and over again until you get success, right? Whereas failure is a few errors in judgment that you repeat over and over and over again that leads to failure. And I want to ask Tania. So having heard what Heidi just said, adding on to that, what happens when your trauma becomes part of your identity? Who are you without the story? So I often find this with clients as well. When I do speak and work with them, they sometimes hold on to that trauma so much because it became their identity, it became who they are. And when you remove that, they're like, oh my goodness, who the heck am I? Right. How do you deal with that? And what is your experience with that, please?
Gideon, that's a difficult one. Because I have a few, well, not a few, about 3 clients that I quickly can think of that that does that. I've recently told someone or asked someone that what would you be or who would you be if you're going to get healed? And he couldn't answer the question. So it's like you say, I think they've become so familiar with the trauma. Now all the medicine takes the medicine. Now all the therapists and that it actually becomes a kind of a baby. It becomes a baby. It becomes familiar. It becomes can I say their thing?
Yes.
Sometimes it feels that it's the only thing they can talk about. It's the baby that they want. And then when you come to them and say, listen, I can help you. And let me just say that I believe that's a process. I really believe that's a process. And there's a few things, a few techniques that you can do with, but I believe that it takes a few sessions or like that. And I think they're afraid because they are so used to that, maybe from childhood, or most of them from childhood, that they don't know how they will feel. Again, I'm back to the nervous system. They don't know how they will feel without this hurt, without this anxiety, without the medicine. They don't know if they are able to will be able to cope without the medicine. So for me, this is actually very, very sad, because I think they're scared. I think they're afraid, because they don't know what they will be without all those stuff. So it's a difficult one, Gideon. It's a difficult one.
I understand. So it's a process of looking at the impact moments, looking at everything that revolves around that, looking at the identity that was formed around that specific awareness or that specific focus that was put towards a specific subject, and then using and unpacking that with what else is possible. What else is possible? When this happens, what else can I insert into that? What is the other thought that I can think of? What is it that I can catch and replace and catch and replace?
Wow.
And Tania, I want to ask you, while we've got you here, the brain works in duality, so you know what black is because you know what white looks like, and you know what white looks like because you know what black looks like, and you can't see you don't know what a mirror looks like that's not broken, because you have seen a mirror that's maybe healed or that's not broken. So when you when you do work with a client, they already have all the questions, all the answers to all the questions inside of them. But often they neglect to see what they need to see. How do you change that RAS? How do you change that reticulated activating system? How do you help them to filter towards what is it that they need? And instead of them focusing on the old identity, what can they do to focus on the new identity?
Gideon, that's where the neurocoaching comes in that I'm still busy with.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, I'm thinking about another client the other day. I had a man, let's call him John, and what you said, he says he wants a new thought pattern. And one of the things that we do, we work on a flow chart. It's very, very interesting. And most of the people here will maybe know about it. You can start with the 4 quadrant or a lot of stuff. But while I was preparing for the session, I was thinking about a deep dive. I was thinking, what can we do about it? Yeah, I was running towards a deep dive. But I gave him the flow chart because at first he said, this is a game. And I thought, okay, so let's make it a Monopoly game and let's see, what we can do. So, because I was actually afraid of this client because he's very clever, and I wanted to help him still. And then I gave him the flow chart the second time. It was just the day before yesterday, and I said, listen, this is the game. This is the game plan. This is how it looks. Let's just be upfront. And he laughed. And I said, so what in that, stands out for you? And he was like, so I think the deep dive. And I said, yes, let's do the deep dive. So how it started, I said, so give me one sentence. What is your greatest frustration? And I said, but you have to, I'm writing it, but he has to write it himself also. I want that as well. And he gave me the sentence. So let's say, for instance, he said, I want to become financially how can I say that?
Independent.
Thank you. Independent, yes. So I said, the reason that I want to be financially independent is, and then he thought, and then he was writing. So every time that he gives me the sentence, I take that and I put it into a sentence. He gives me the answer, I put it into a sentence, and then I go like, so this and this, because this, you said this, and the reason is. So I took him down 8 steps in the deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot tell you, when he wrote the 8th sentence, that man went pale in his face.
Yes.
He said, Tania, I did not know what was going on behind the first sentence. So that's techniques I use, Gideon, in my office, helping people. It doesn't help that you tell them, like Heidi also said, it's going to get uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get uncomfortable because something somewhere went wrong. And if you go to the nervous system and you unplug it, or you make it calmer, or
Yes.
it changes your behavior. It changes the way you look at life. It changes your mood. It changes your life.
Sure. Tania, thank you so much for those insights. And for those of you that was invited by a professional this evening, remember to refer back to them after the session. If you need any help and assistance getting connected with them, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. So, Anna-Marie, I want to ask you, what behaviors are the clearest evidence that someone is genuinely healing? So you've been on an incredible journey yourself, but what is the 1 or 2 signs that you know today is a clear sign that you've healed from something that happened to you in your past?
I think it comes with the change in how you react to triggers, the change in setting boundaries that you weren't able to do so before, and dealing with difficult conversations.
Sure. I like that. I like that a lot. And, you know, we've alluded to a few things this evening. One of the big things that I've become aware of in my life is the perception about impact moments. So there was lots of impact moments in my life. Many of them altered my perception completely. And then I started developing an identity and a belief system around those perceptions. Now, when I later discovered that the perceptions that I created and the belief system that I created around those perceptions were not 100% aligned with the truth. It was something that I actually created myself. So here's something for you, Anne-Marie. Do you need closure from those impact moments or from other people to heal? Or can waiting for closure keep you stuck? How important is it to have those conversations, those deep, meaningful conversations you just alluded to?
Yeah, you know, healing is not linear. It goes up and down, and it doesn't mean when you heal that you don't feel pain or rejection or abandonment, but you just deal with that a lot better when you've healed. You have options on how to deal with that.
Sure. And Anne-Marie, can forgiveness happen without reconciliation?
I think forgiveness for me means that I feel released from the hold that it had over me.
Yes.
So yes, I think forgiveness, first of all, in yourself, and then forgiveness in other people that you've come across in your life, that you that you forgive for what they've done. I think that is just such a great deal, part of healing is forgiveness, but mainly for yourself, because that releases you from the hold.
Yeah, and one of the techniques that I want to just quickly share that I always use with my clients is that if there's something that they need to forgive themselves for, or they need to forgive someone else for, and sometimes, you know, those people don't even know that they did something to you. You know, it's your perception that they did something to you, is to journal. You know, the more you write, the more you write with pen and paper, not with your computer, not with your fingers, pen and paper, right? I see Tania and Heidi is nodding their heads. They know what I'm talking about. It is something that happens inside the mind, how you can just discover and uncover a lot of things. And I see Valencia's on the call here this evening as well. One of the absolute go-to is then to go and write those letters for your mum and for your dad and for the people that you think had an impact on you or created this perception, and you created this identity, and you had these fights and everything inside you constantly, and they don't even know they did it to you, is to write it down on paper and then to go and burn it. Put it in a piece of paper and burn it and see it. Tania, you've got something that you want to add?
Yes, Gideon, I love what you're saying. Can I just quickly add something about forgiveness?
Yes.
I don't think I know. We cannot live without forgiveness.
Yes.
I was working at the school as a life coach for 10 years, and something happened one day in my office, and I'm gonna say it like it was. A little girl, well, she was in grade 11 at the time. She was raped when she was in grade 9, and she didn't tell anybody ever. I was the first one that she told, and she wanted to just get closure, or just speak about it, and it was haunting her. And as she told me, I was actually praying and saying, I don't know what to tell this little girl. And the thought came, forgiveness, and I'm like, oh my word, this is serious. And something just dropped into my heart, and I just feel I want to say it tonight. We must understand something about forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean that what the other person did to you was okay. That's not forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean, because all of you will know and can think about someone or yourselves or whatever, whoever, someone has been hurt or whatever. And forgiveness does not mean that the perpetrator is coming off easily and that it's okay. It means that what I'm carrying is so heavy that I am making a choice to put it down. And like Anna-Marie said, I'm not going to carry this anymore. And I'm freeing myself. I just wanted to say that.
Sure. Thank you, Tania, for saying that. And I think there was a message by Lorette now that said, forgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. So forgiveness is so important, because that is exactly what you say there, is to let go of the thing that you've been carrying with you, picking up a hot stone, wanting to throw someone else with the hot stone and to hurt them. You're actually burning yourself in the process. So just forgiving yourself will allow yourself to heal. Lisa, I'm going to come to you now, and I see Sanita's got a hand raised as well. Thanks, Tania, for that contribution there. Heidi, I want to ask you, if you remove all the explanations, childhood, trauma, ex, parents, circumstances, what pattern in your life would you still have to take responsibility for, or for changing?
You see, we can only take responsibility for ourselves, for today.
Yes.
And I can take responsibility for my choices.
Yes.
That I make. And I just want to link back to what Tania also said earlier about the healing and what am I? What is my identity? Who am I without the hurt and without the pain? And I saw that for myself recovering from addiction. I was so scared, because how am I going to be myself again? Who am I? What is this? I'm restoring, I'm healing, I'm going to become well again. And then I realized I don't have to become that where the problem started again. I think that was the big resistance for me, because everybody was thinking, oh, she must go back to her old self. The old self was nice before she started drinking. And I didn't want to do that, because that's where my problems started. That's where the seed was planted. And I realized one day that, no, I have that word that Anna-Marie says, option. I have an option now to become somebody different, new. And when that penny dropped, I felt relief. It was permission to then move forward.
Sure. Wow. Very, very, very powerful. Guys, lots of value this evening. Absolutely unbelievable. I want to just share a few things with you quickly. Lisa, I'm going to come to you in a second. Just want to quickly share this with you before we run out of time, before everybody runs away. Okay, just a quick reminder that applications is now open for the new Paradigm Practitioners Wave. If you want to find out more about this, please do reach out to me. This is for mental health professionals. This is for members of the public. We'll give you some more information. If you need more information about this, please do reach out to me. And then the last one I just want to quickly share with you is next week, Thursday evening. The topic is, what are you getting from staying stuck? If you desperately want something to change, why hasn't it? Right. So if you know someone, or if you're interested in finding out more about this, remember next week, Thursday evening at 7 o'clock, we dive deep into this specific topic with 3 incredible special guests, which we will announce tomorrow. So, Lisa, you had your hand raised. Can I ask you to unmute, please?
Good evening, everybody. Yes, I want to put my 5 cents with the you must forgive. Most of the time, or most of my clients get, but I already forgive. But all the triggers is still sitting there. So over the years, I come to the conclusion that it's easy to say, yes, I forgive you. I forgive you. But 1 John 1:9 say that you must in Afrikaans erken en bely en God is getrou en regverdig om dit van ons al weg te vat. So the meaning of that in the practice is you must recognize what is the thing that the other guy or person or circumstances did to you that hurt you, neglect you, you feel rejected, I'm not good enough, or you steal from me, if it is your happiness, your identity, doesn't matter, etc. You must go and sit down and to recognize it. And then where did that situation bring you? What was the impact on you as a person? Maybe your family, your circumstances, your job, your new view or your worthiness about yourself. And after that, and you deal with that, then it is easy to forgive and spoke through. And if you can put yourself in that person that harm you, choose and have empathy or sympathy for that person, it's more easier to forget and to forgive and work through your own soul.
Yeah. Well said. So thank you so much, Lisa, for that insight. Tonight has been incredible. Heidi, Anna-Marie, Tania, I'm going to play us out with one last question that I'd like each and every single one of you to answer for me, please. So let's start with Anna-Marie. Anna-Marie, the question is, finish the sentence. You know you are genuinely healing when?
It is when you have options to react and that you've changed the narrative to such a point where you can now say that it's okay. It's okay and it's all right.
I like that. It's okay. I'm going to remember that. Yo, that song really got me today. And that is really a standout. Thank you so much, Anna-Marie. That is really special.
Thank you.
Heidi, finish the sentence. You know when you are genuinely healing when?
I can choose. When I choose. When I'm not being overcome by responses and emotions, but when I feel I've that space in my mind where I choose.
Sure. That's powerful. Choose. I'm going to remember that. You know, what else is possible? Yeah. Now that I know, what am I going to do about it?
That's it. What am I choosing to do now?
Yes. I like that. I like that a lot. Thank you. Tania, you know when you are genuinely healing when?
I think for me, again, the nervous system, I think when your feelings and your reactions actually changes. That's what I believe. When your feelings, because your nervous system feels, when your feelings and reaction actually changes.
Sure. Wow. Wow. Guys, you know, we ran out of time this evening, but this has been such an incredible conversation. I absolutely love diving deep into these conversations. And, you know, I need to thank all of you for showing up on a Thursday evening, because it really gives me the opportunity to go and prepare a subject, to go and prepare and reach out to mental health professionals to make this platform the best possible it can be on a Thursday evening. And in preparing, it actually helps me to learn more about myself. So thank you very much for being here this evening. Thank you very much for everyone that reached out and that is always here every Thursday evening. Especially, guys, can I get a huge thank you for our incredible mental health professionals this evening. First of all, I want to say, Anna-Marie, thank you so much. It's okay. I'll remember that. Okay. Heidi, choices. I'll remember that. Thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
then Tania, thank you so much for sharing your insights from a nervous system perspective, knowing that, you know, when we are in control of our feelings, we are really healing. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much. So guys, it's brought us to the end of our Thursday evening, and we're going to see each other again next week, Thursday evening, 7 o'clock. And as always, I'm going to play out with a video this evening. I'm going to just say, I will look after me for you. Will you please look after you for me and all of us? Until we see each other again next week, Thursday evening, 7 o'clock. Look after yourself, take care. And I'm going to play out with a video from our very special guest who's going to be doing a masterclass on September the 12th. A man that needs no introduction, and he is no other than Demisha Masha. So sit back, relax, listen to this specially prepared special message from Demisha.
Have you ever walked away from a conversation thinking, that actually went really well, only to discover later it didn't? Maybe it was a conversation with your partner who said, I'm fine, and then later it turned out that they definitely were not fine. Or it was with a colleague who agreed with everything you said, but later you discovered they weren't on board at all. Or it was a potential client who seemed interested, excited, and ready to go, and then suddenly they ghosted you. Or you were talking to someone and you could just feel something had changed, but you couldn't put your finger on what it was. Here's the interesting part. There's the conversation you're having and hearing, and then there's the conversation you're having and not hearing. Because communication is so much more than words. It's the pause, the hesitation, the change in tone, the facial expression, body language, the energy in the room. And sometimes the most important part of a conversation is the part nobody actually says out loud. I'm Demisha Masha, and on Saturday, 12 September, I'm hosting a very special half-day masterclass, The Conversation You're Not Hearing. And I'm going to introduce you to something you've probably never heard of before. It's called the Flim Flam Folio Technique. Never heard of it? There's a reason for that. And this time, I'm letting the cat out the bag. I'm going to show you how to start noticing the signals most people miss and how to use that awareness to have better conversations, build stronger relationships, understand people more deeply, and communicate with greater confidence. Whether you're communicating with a client, partner, colleague, team member, friend, or even your own family, this is something you can use every single day. So join me on Saturday, 12 September from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come and discover the conversation you're not hearing, because after this masterclass, you might start hearing what people have been telling you all along without them ever having said a word. I'll see you there.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Invite a friend. See you next week, Thursday, 7 o'clock.